Hi, this is Galit Goldfarb. Thank you very much for joining me here today. Today I'm going to be talking about allergies versus intolerances and natural treatments that can help. So let's begin with a true allergy. There are 4 types of reactions to allergens, including an immediate and acute reaction. And this is the most common form of allergic reaction, but it is still uncommon among the global population if you look at it from a general perspective. This is an anaphylactic reaction, releasing histamine, serotonin, bradykinin, and lipid mediators, which may cause damage to tissues and organs in the body. Anaphylaxis involves the reaction of one or more than one of the body's systems to an allergen to which the body has become hypersensitive. Anaphylaxis can include respiratory, skin, cardiovascular, and gastrointestinal systems. And the reaction usually happens immediately or within a few minutes of exposure to the allergen and quickly escalates. When you have an acute allergic reaction, you need to get immediate medical attention or take any medication that you have handy for this purpose if this is not your first exposure to the allergen. When you know that you suffer from this type of allergy to a certain allergen, then the best line of action is complete and total avoidance of the allergic substance. Celiac disease is an example of a true allergy to gluten, which is the main protein component found in wheat, rye, and barley. In celiac disease, the consumption of gluten leads to an immune response causing inflammation and the destruction of the lining of the small intestine. And this leads to the malabsorption of essential nutrients that can't enter the body, and if left untreated, this can be life-threatening. Generally, all foods can potentially trigger an allergic reaction. Over 170 different types of foods have been identified as being potentially allergenic. Still, the majority of allergies are caused by only a few specific foods. Now, due to the hefty consequences of exposure to an allergen for which one has a true allergy, then complete avoidance is the best line of action for this type of allergy. Now, the second type of allergic reaction is a cytotoxic reaction, when antibodies in the body destroy cells within the body. And this type of allergic response has a gradual onset. It takes time. And this may lead to impaired blood clotting in the body. But this, thank goodness, this type of allergy is quite rare. Now, the third type of reaction to an allergen is immune complex hypersensitivity, which leads to inflammation of the tissue. And this type of allergic reaction is also quite rare. Now, the fourth type of allergic reaction is cell-mediated or delayed hypersensitivity. This reaction is the second most common type of reaction to allergens, and it leads to inflammation. It usually takes 12 to 24 hours for signs of inflammation to appear locally. Now, overall, allergy symptoms often include nasal congestion, pressure in the sinuses, and a feeling of pain in the face, a runny nose and itchy and watery eyes, a scratchy-like feeling in the throat, and a cough, a swollen and dark patches under the eyes, asthma or more exacerbated asthma, a swelling of the face, especially around the eyes and the mouth, and in extreme cases, swelling of the airways, lowered blood pressures quickly that goes down, as well as diarrhea and basically organ dysfunction. Some allergens are impossible to avoid, and for this type of allergy, avoidance is not possible sheerly from the abundance of the substance. For example, an allergy to a particular tree that is found in plenitude in your environment, or an allergy to house dust mite may be challenging to avoid. You want to limit your contact as much as possible to these allergens by taking a precaution and action. For example, washing any clothing that has been worn outside, or staying indoors on dry, windy days. You can check for pollen counts regularly, cleaning your carpets, and using new towels, clean towels regularly. Also, avoiding going out on high pollen days, or staying in when you have a lot of dust around the house. Also, you want to use the air conditioning if you have an allergy to pollen in the house and in the car, instead of opening the windows and using perhaps a HEPA filter. It's a high efficiency particulate air filter or dehumidifier. Now, another option is going for a desensitization treatment, and this procedure is performed by an allergy specialist in a hospital setting and involves gradual exposure to increasing doses of the allergen in order to desensitize the patient's immune response to it. And this is good for people who have an allergy to something that is found in abundance in many places. So treatment of the second and third allergic reactions usually involves some type of immune suppression. So if you've had an allergic reaction to a specific medicine or food or any other substance, it is essential to let your doctor and your dentist know, as well as your place of work, and for children, their school or daycare center. They must be aware of any true allergies that you think, or even that you know and you think you have or your child has. Now, although it may sound unlikely, but this is true. Nutrition has a large impact on allergic diseases. Breastfeeding, for example, as well as the first introduction of foods for babies, and is very, very critical at determining whether a person will suffer from a lot of allergies during their life. Also, taking sufficient probiotics and having a diet with adequate nutrients, fiber, phytochemicals, and omega-3 fatty acids all affect the development of allergies. So nutrition has a major, major impact on whether you will develop allergies in the first place or not, as well as the way the body reacts to them. Therefore, to avoid the onset of a true allergy in your children, it is wise and recommended to breastfeed your children exclusively for the first 6 months. Now, to do this, it won't be possible to breastfeed your child if you give your child a pacifier. A pacifier must not be introduced during this period to ensure that the mother can produce sufficient amounts of milk. And basically, the baby is sucking on the pacifier instead of on the breast, and so the mother cannot produce sufficient milk in this way. So it is important, if you want to breastfeed your child, not to introduce a pacifier. Also, solid foods can be introduced no earlier than 6 months. And animal foods should only be introduced after 1 or 1.5 years of the child. Also, in children, and when you introduce new foods, and also with adults and you should aim to consume foods in their whole form to provide sufficient fiber and nutrients. And green leafy vegetables and seaweeds are great also as foods to wean your children, as second stage foods, and also for adults. Nutritional supplements are very helpful for fussy eaters and for adults as well. Now, processed foods may enhance allergenicity of foods due to the change these foods cause to our microbiome. The different bacteria release different types of metabolites that may lead to allergic reactions. So you want to make sure that you're eating foods that support a healthy microbiome. Fiber-rich foods are especially supportive of a healthy microbiome. Also, so let's talk about intolerance now. True allergy is different from a food intolerance. For example, a food intolerance is not a true allergy since it has no clearly defined immune response, and symptoms usually only affect the digestive system. Deficiencies in specific enzymes that break down food components are likely to cause the buildup of a large number of byproducts that lead to the symptoms of intolerance. With a food intolerance, a person, for example, can eat a small amount of that food, but when they eat larger amounts, then an allergic reaction can lead to stomach cramps, diarrhea, and all sorts of discomforts. Now, lactose intolerance is a great example of a food intolerance because the deficiency in the enzyme lactase that breaks down lactose, the sugar found in dairy products, is the cause. There is an increase in lactose levels in the bowel because it is not being broken down, which leads to bloating, diarrhea, cramps, and nausea, and all sorts of other discomforts. Now, although this is uncomfortable, it is not life-threatening like a true allergy. So, to support your body before an allergic reaction and reduce the symptoms of an allergy and raise your levels of tolerance, there are some nutrients that, when taken consistently, weekly, along with with a healthy diet and to lower the amount of animal products you are consuming and to eat foods rich in phytochemicals, can provide beneficial results. So here are 7 nutrients, herbs, and therapies that can reduce allergic reactions and support your immune system. Number 1, quercetin. It's a flavonoid rich in many plants and has a lot of antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, and it can also stabilize mast cells. Therefore, quercetin can help alleviate allergic reactions and their after effects, which are normally quite harsh on the body. However, quercetin can interact with other medications, and pregnant women are not recommended to take it. If you have kidney or liver problems, consult with your doctor before you take any quercetin. The second nutrient is vitamin C, which supports the immune system. We all know this. It improves also the effects of quercetin, and I truly recommend taking vitamin C on an ongoing basis as a prevention strategy if you know that you are susceptible to having allergies. Now, the third nutrient is vitamin D. Recent evidence shows that vitamin D deficiency may lead to allergic diseases. Vitamin D is very, very potent vitamin, and I recommend taking sufficient levels if you are not exposed to adequate levels of UVB rays from the sun because of the location of where you live in the world. Now, the fourth of the nutrients is probiotics. Bifidobacteria and lactobacilli probiotic products are sometimes used to treat allergic diseases, and in children, some epidemiological studies show that intestinal probiotic bacteria can protect from allergic disease. I recommend taking a capsule with 100 billion colony-forming units, CFUs, with a minimum of 10 different strains of bacteria as an ongoing therapy if you are prone to allergies and intolerances. Also, some herbs can help support the immune system, and others may reduce the severity and frequency of allergic reactions. For example, skullcap can have antihistamine benefits. It was proven to decrease food allergies in studies performed on animals. However, it can also potentially interact with different medications, so you want to consult your doctor before taking this herb. Another herb is licorice, which has been traditionally used to help immune system and can have antihistamine benefits, but also take care and use it under the direction of your healthcare provider. The next potent herb is stinging nettle, which may have anti-allergic and anti-inflammatory properties that may help in the prevention of allergies. But if you have diabetes or kidney problems, you need to consult your doctor before taking stinging nettle. Also, homeopathy is very helpful. Some patients use homeopathic remedies for allergic diseases or allergic reactions, and many people can see a reduction in their symptoms after using homeopathy. So you may want to consult with a homeopathic doctor. Now, acupuncture also has been proven to improve immune function and to alleviate symptoms of seasonal allergies as well as chronic allergies and asthma and atopic dermatitis. It is really great and considered well tolerated and a safe treatment. So you may want to try also this acupuncture. Now, I hope you liked this video. I hope it was helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and also life coaching videos, which you find on my channel every single day. Also, please visit my website for many programs that will help you reach your optimal health. Thank you very much for joining.